We're going to New York now. I don't know where to start with Julie Stewart-Binks other than to tell you she's always got a lot going on. And it looks like you're ready for work today, JSB. What's the latest in your world before we jump into NFL, NHL news from the Big Apple?
Well, Rod, thanks so much for having me on. I got ready to come on your show. This was my work for today. So, I take this very seriously, getting an opportunity to be on the Rod Pedersen show.
I appreciate it, and as do we. And you know what? The most important thing is that you have a new show. So before we delve into the topics, what is it? Tell us. Give us the career update on JSB.
Right. I have a new show, like people, have new recipes, I guess. It's a new one every day. But right now I'm working with Bet Rivers. You may have seen the commercials or whatnot, and maybe use the sports book, of course. But my show is called Off Air with Julie Stewart-Binks. So I got the idea of just, as you know, when you have interviews, there's always so many times when you say, oh, we talked about this off air. We talked about this off air. It's like we talked about this in the commercial break. And so I was just kept thinking about that. And I like that idea of kind of like the conversations you have with people that are just sort of like not necessarily what you would see on SportsCenter, or what their job is like, what sort of who they are. And then that just morphed into off air, like who this person is off air. So then I've just been like working on that. Luckily, I've been able to be working in a studio in New York City that we kind of rent out, and I'm remote, but then we can bring guests in or we can have guests remote, and sort of it's just the idea is to sort of have a little bit more fun with their personality. And I just had Katie Nolan on, who I worked with at Fox Sports 1, and she's a big personality, does a lot of different things all over the place. So it's kind of a bit of like off the record in a way, but that of course has been taken by many people. So off air. And when it gets canceled, inevitably, it's like we've already gotten ahead of it. So it'll just be easy.
Good for you. 3-time Telly Award winner Julie Stewart-Binks, working with Bet Rivers and for Sportsnet New York. Okay, I'll get it out. Now, listen, here's a fun one. I'm in Alberta. It's the daily discussion, who's better, Flames or Oilers. Our poll question, which I'll ask you in a moment, is who's going to have more rushing yards, Dalvin Cook or Zeke Elliott in the AFC East? But let me ask you this, because you're a hockey gal first. Who's going to have the better season, the New York Rangers or the New York Islanders? Both made the playoffs last year. Or maybe you can throw the Devils in there, too.
No. Let's stick with Islanders and Rangers right now. It's 100% going to be the Rangers. I don't know what's going on with the Islanders. I mean, Lou Lamoriello signed a lot of guys to some long-term contracts. I'm not necessarily 100% on all of those. I believe that the Rangers will have a better season, even without the likes of Vladimir Tarasenko. We're not sure about Patrick Kane's hip long-term, all that kind of stuff, but I believe that they still have some incredible talent. Saw Chris Kreider dancing at his own wedding. He looked pretty, fit, ready to go for the season. I do think that the biggest question will be the New Jersey Devils. I think that they are probably the gem of the tri-state area right now.
And how did that happen? Like it almost felt like it came out of nowhere.
Well, yeah, it was it was Jack Hughes really like coming into his own and having this like incredible breakout season after there was so much pressure and expectation on him for so long. And then add in all these other younger guys stepping up and doing so well with Jesper Bratt and them signing Timo Meier now to a long-term contract. So you kind of see them all they were able to really exploit the way that the Rangers played last year too, and having them kind of like do really well. We know Dougie Hamilton as well. I saw him walking along the street the other day. That's what the beauty of New York. I ran into Amy Poehler, which I almost died, and then I saw Dougie Hamilton as well. Not the same response, but he was walking along the street. And so I think that with them and figuring out their goaltender situation, they are going, really, as we know, in the postseason, whoever has like a very good goaltender and things are clicking are going to go well. But man, after last year, it reminded me how long the regular season is to get to the playoffs, and then the playoffs can just go by in like the blink of an eye. And it felt like it did last year, at least for me, watching the Toronto Maple Leafs and then also watching the Rangers that were on at the same time. And it was like gone, because as we know, the Rangers were out in the first round, and then Toronto was, just had like few more games after that. So, but I think that I like the vibe of the Devils, other than the fact that their goal chant is "You suck." I think that's like a little, kind of mean after you just scored on somebody, being like, "You suck." Mm-hmm. But I kind of like it in a way too. It's a bit of like O'Doyle rules, throwback to Billy Madison. So they've got a bit of swag to them.
I like how you mixed in the celebrity sightings with your New Jersey Devils analysis. Who's the most interesting person you ran into in the streets of Manhattan? Because if I may go first, Ted Nugent and Tim Tebow. I just bumped into one day, and the same day, and I have photographic evidence of both occurrences. Yours?
I try not to, Rod, I've lived in LA and New York. You just don't say hi to people.
Oh, you're over that.
That's just...
Yeah.
But my boyfriend was I've never seen anyone be more direct in a moment than seeing Amy Poehler and then waiting for her at a crosswalk. Because if someone at a crosswalk means that they are waiting, you're not interrupting them. They have their 15 seconds. And she started Upright Citizens Brigade, which is where me and him both did improv. So he was like right in there like, hi, really, thank you so much for everything you've done with improv and Upright Citizens Brigade. We both took UCB, blah, blah, blah. It was like that was his life mission, that he was supposed to meet Amy Poehler then. And I just stood there like I didn't speak English. Like I couldn't even talk. I was so shocked because I just never introduce myself to like a celebrity, obviously. But I don't know who would be the biggest one. Probably like I met Beyonce and Jay-Z. That was fairly big.
No big deal. Well, I grew up in Milestone, Saskatchewan, where we went 3 days without seeing a human being talking to cows.
True.
So everybody is a celebrity to me. JSB, we are out of time. Hey, 60 seconds or less. You're a TV gal. I can't get out of here without asking you the response to Dalvin Cook joining the Gotham Green.
I think it's great. There's a lot of interesting excitement around the Jets right now, and also the fact that Breece Hall has now been activated. So I think that Cook, don't expect him to be like how he was with the Vikings, but he's a great option insurance policy right now. He's also coming off of shoulder surgery, so he won't be here for a week, expecting a baby as well. So he'll be able to come in. There's so many offensive weapons. They got a great D-line, but they don't have an O-line. So Aaron Rodgers is very, very stressed about that. I'm excited for Hard Knocks tonight because it has been the Aaron Rodgers show, and I expect it to continue to be that. But in terms of the real show, got to be able to get an O-line in front of that guy.
Nice work, JSB. Okay, good luck with the new show. Please keep in touch, and I'll see you in the rink this winter.
See you later. Thanks.
Julie Stewart-Binks from Off Air and Sportsnet New York partnered with Bet Rivers.